What's going on, podcasters and YouTubers? This is Hav here, one of your hosts from the Real Fan Review, coming out of Long Island, New York. We got my brother B.
What's up, everybody? How you doing tonight?
We got our man in the chair, Al.
How's it going, everybody?
We got my bro, your bro, Sanj.
Good evening, everybody. As always, it's a pleasure to be with you.
Yeah, man. And if you're watching on YouTube, you clearly see Brandon's in the future right now, December 2022. Brandon, tell me, how was Guardians of the Galaxy 3, bro?
Oh, it was great. Did you guys know the best time to bear?
Brandon's
the best
over
time
here
to
wearing
wear
a sweater.
is
June.
anytime.
This fucking AC is blowing, son.
I was going to ask you where you got that sweater because I need that sweater too, man.
That's Old Navy.
That is a dad sweater.
Looks like that. Those two bears are fighting for the mic. Oh man!
This
but
is
listen,
the Marvel superhero.
It totally does.
The brown bear.
Oh man! Listen, tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about Jurassic World Dominion. But before we get into that review, we got two bits of news this week. We got the Black Adam trailer, and the first that we're talking about today is the Marvel MCU announced movie coming out in the next few years, the Thunderbolts. So let's get right into that, and let's get this whole movie craze thing that we love here going. Al, talk to me, brother. You saw the news this week. Marvel's talking about the Thunderbolts being made, which is something that we kind of thought was working, but we thought more towards the Disney Plus end, but it's actually going to be a movie. I guess maybe like Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on this Thunderbolts announcement?
I was just saying, finally, like they brought in every piece of it. It was just about time for them to actually make the announcement. But I'm glad they're doing it as a movie that I hope leads into a series, because one thing that I've been liking about the series is that they've been allowing them to go deeper into each of the characters.
Right.
So, I mean, granted, we know a lot about each of the characters they're bringing in, but I would like for them to flush them out a little bit more, especially given the numbers that they're going to have. What is it so far? I think that you have Abomination, Winter Soldier, Taskmaster, U.S. Agent. So, that's a lot of people. Like, that's like an Endgame type movie. Mm-hmm. So I would like to see what the mission is, who's the villain, because that I'd be interested to see. Like, because from what I understand, they go on missions you wouldn't want to send the Avengers on.
Yeah.
So who's such a bad guy that you would really want to just send to people who don't give a fuck, that they're willing, they're going to kill your ass. So, like, who's that bad guy?
Right. Who are those guys? Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, Sanj, the more we like, Al's bringing up some of the stuff that he's heard about it. It sounds really like Suicide Squad. I mean, especially with the way that we're going to be using so-called quote unquote bad guys or people with good morale issues, we could say, or moral issues. What's your thoughts on a Thunderbolts type of movie coming out?
Yeah, I mean, like we were saying, it's a suicide, sounds like a Suicide Squad type thing, and if that's the case, I'd like to see Marvel's take on it, because Suicide Squad so far has been entertaining. So let's see what Marvel can do with it, because Marvel has a very different take on the superheroes and the types of stories that they tell. They tend to be a little bit grander, tend to be have a little bit more depth and be more dramatic. So it's going to be very interesting to see what characters they pull together and what mission they send them on. So it's exciting to see.
Yeah, man. And then B, I mean, if I'm correct, I think we've seen a majority of who we expect to be a part of the Thunderbolts. We have the new Black Widow in Yelena. We have U.S. Agent. We have Baron Zemo. We have Abomination. I mean, there's a lot of characters that they could put into this, but I remember in the comic books, and you're big on the comic books, is that I think Norman Osborn was one of the characters. Thunderbolt Ross is one of the characters. I mean, it's named after him, and I think something that's going to be hard to deal with is the fact that the actor who plays Thunderbolt Ross just recently passed away. I'm sure they could probably recast it or anything like that. But what's your thoughts, B?
I mean, when it comes to like this group of people we've already met, we've seen them in some capacity throughout these movies, and I'm excited to see how they work together because, a lot of them have been in either these Disney Plus shows or they've been kind of some integral part to one of the movies in some way, shape, or form. So it's interesting to see them now take like a spotlight type role where they're now front and
Right.
center and they're going to be a main part of this movie. So like, like we mentioned, like Thunderbolt Ross, like one of the main hopes for a lot of people were to see him become the Red Hulk. And sadly, with
Right.
with the actor passing away, what's the chances? Obviously, yes, he could be recasted, but it may be one of those situations where he's played this character since was it Edward Norton's Hulk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Mhm.
It's one of those things like, do we just kind of go with somebody else like Abomination, like Al said, because we have that character available? The leader is
Right.
another character they can go with who was in the other Hulk movie as well, kind of,
That'd
so
be
we
a
can
great
bring in.
callback.
Yeah, so we can do multiple callbacks. Like now that we've kind of made that Hulk canon, even though it's not Edward Norton anymore, we can still bring in the leader, as a cool callback. He could
Right.
even be the villain of this movie. Maybe the leader comes
Ooh.
upon building MODOK, and that could be where this
Ooh.
goes, So like, it's
Mhm.
interesting to see where we can go because now we're using characters from the history of this MCU as we've known it and where it can go. So I think it's an exciting concept to see how they use these characters, what characters they bring in outside of this core group that we might know, and then who these
Mhm.
villains are going to be.
Gotcha. I mean, Al, any kind of concerns that, a lot of these characters that we've been mentioning that are be part of this team, they really haven't had like this huge, like, besides Baron Zemo. I think Baron Zemo is the only one that we've all been like, yo, dude, he's cool, right? Like with the whole dance moves, in Falcon and the Winter Soldier there. But as far as the rest of the characters, like U.S. Agent was okay. I thought he was going to be even more of a badass than what he came
Yeah.
off, because that scene with the shield and bringing them bludgeoning the I forgot what the guys were named, but
Flag
bludgeoning one
Smashers.
of those guys in the town hall. What were you saying, Brandon?
The Flag
Flag
Smashers.
Smashers.
The Flag Smashers. That's right. And then all the other villains that they could probably put in there. I'm not really sold on them having like their movie. I mean, I don't doubt it that
Yeah.
it could be good. Like Abomination would be interesting, but at the same time, I don't know.
Well, no, that's the whole thing. Like, if this is going to be the MCU's version of Suicide Squad, if they do it right and they balance out the load between the characters, they can make it work. Because think
Mhm.
about Suicide Squad. You had Polka Dot Man. You had
That's
that.
right.
What was the name of the shark character?
King
So you
Shark.
King
had
Shark.
King Shark. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you had these characters like that. At least I had never heard of, and you
Right.
still had them work in terms of being part of the ensemble because
Mhm.
you flushed them out enough. Like with Polka Dot Man, we knew that there was an issue with the mom. We knew, that how his powers worked. Like they flushed out enough of him that we cared about him by the end of the movie. So as
Yeah.
long as they do that with these guys, and so far, as much as I would like there to be an even keel between Marvel and DC, Marvel has so far been doing a better job at the way they bring out their movies and their characters.
Right.
So I'm confident they'll do a good job of doing that with these characters.
Mhm.
Again, I just hope that they balance the load between them, especially given which characters they're bringing into this group.
Gotcha, man. And how about you, Sanj? Any like hesitation with Thunderbolts, or just again, as usual, in Kevin Feige we trust?
No, I don't have any hesitation with it. In Kevin Feige, we trust, and again, they're giving us something new. They're keeping it fresh.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, man. Yeah, and listen, as we hear more about the Thunderbolts, I mean, right now it was just recently announced, so it's nothing too crazy going on. I mean, I think they're still trying to formulate the team. They could
Mhm.
always go the route with Brandon. What's Elaine's name, or do you recall Elaine's character in the MCU?
Oh,
Von
Val.
Tressa or something like that.
It's
Oh,
like, yeah,
totally
it's
forget.
definitely Val, but don't call her Val.
I think it was
But
like
so far,
the Von Tressa or something like that, right?
something like, I know something from the comic books. She's the girl with the purple hair.
Yeah.
Right? She's like the triple agent that works for, Hydra, but also does her own thing. Maybe she could be the person that's running everything. And B, she's only picked up so far U.S. Agent and Yelena so far, right?
That we know of, yeah.
That we know of, right?
That we that
Okay.
we've seen from the movies. That
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think
And
there's
she
still
had
room
Yelena
for
doing
stuff.
missions already, so
True. Yeah, she went after Hawkeye. So yeah, man, it's gonna be all
Was that
interesting
was that
stuff.
her was
Go
that
for it,
her
Sanj.
mission? Was that a mission from her, or did she do that like
It was a
on
gift.
was that
She
her
gave
own
her a
personal
gift.
mission?
Yeah, it was at the end of
Okay.
Black Widow.
I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the end of
But
Black Widow.
okay,
She
I
showed her
didn't
the
know that like
picture.
got it. But I
Yeah.
thought that was more like a, yo, I'm gonna hit you with this and this is for you. I thought it was more of a personal thing.
Mm,
But anyway.
yeah. No, I got you, man. Yeah, and then the other bit of news from this week before we get into that Jurassic World Dominion review is that we also had the Black Adam finally put out another trailer to
Yeah.
show The Rock in all his Black Adamness. Because I think what we got before was like a snippet kind of thing where it just showed him kind of like levitating a little bit and just taking on a whole bunch of bullets and they meant nothing. This trailer was a little bit more, showed a little bit more of the Atom Smasher, and also it showed a couple of other scenes there with Hawkman and some other things going on. Seems very interesting, right? Because it shows The Rock doing his thing. He looks fantastic as Black Adam, dude. Like he's like, I think they keep saying he's the only superhero that doesn't need the fluff. He just wears a suit. So it was just incredible there. Brandon, tell me, man, what's your thoughts on the Black Adam trailer there?
It was interesting because with that trailer, like I've never really cared for Black Adam because even in the comic books, like he doesn't do anything really other than be Captain Marvel's like arch nemesis, So like
Right.
he's not really like on par with everybody else. Like him and Superman go at it every now and then because magic and Superman, but like other than that, like he doesn't do much. So this trailer, I wasn't expecting much, as I didn't get much from the Marvel movie itself, Captain Marvel. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I really enjoyed the Hawkman character that they have for this movie. Like I enjoy how they're going to be using Hawkman because Hawkman's gotten a bad rep in the last couple shows that he's been in. So to have like a redeeming Hawkman story, hopefully, I'm really excited about it. Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate is perfect. Like he looks exactly like the comic version of Dr. Fate. Like I can't even believe it.
Right.
Like when they showed him without the helmet on, his exact face looked exactly like the character right out of the comic panel. I was amazed. So I think
Right.
they're gonna do great. I'm just confused about the technology in the movie based off the potential time period of the movie. You know, depending
Gotcha.
on where they
Yeah.
are to our timeline,
Yeah,
if this
it
is even
definitely
in our
looked
timeline.
it looked futuristic, but then it also had some like old school, like ancient Egypt kind of stuff too. So it's kind of like, where are we? You
Yeah,
know?
like where are we? Because this is supposed to be in the past, and our Captain Marvel movie, is in the future. So, what's happening here?
It looked like they had some fighter jets from the original Top Gun.
The F-14s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Sanj, I mean, the story seems good too, where it says that, he was a slave and he was killed, but then his son sacrificed himself to bring him back to life. And that alone was kind of interesting. And to see that kind of a story, because we've never heard anything like that before for a comic book character. Was there anything besides that or that itself that made you like the trailer a little bit?
That made it a little bit of backstory there, so that made it intriguing. And then seeing The Rock as Black Adam, I mean, he's perfect. Just as Black Adam. I mean, you
Hmm.
you really believe like that. The Rock is like, he looks like he doesn't need special effects. Like when they smash the rod on him, and it just like, you know it just conforms to his shape. You know,
That was a
because
real
he's
rod.
he's a superhero with
He
it.
actually
Like,
learned how
yeah,
to
like,
fly
and you
for
feel
this
like,
role.
right, and that right, and that wasn't special effects. Like that would actually happen to The Rock. If you hit The Rock with a rod or something, the rod would take the worst of it. Not and The Rock would just be like, yeah, whatever. You
Poor
know what I'm saying?
Rod.
Like, so right, exactly. So you totally believe that The Rock, and then the face he makes, I don't know how he keeps a straight face all the time to like do these characters.
Yeah.
I'm just excited. I mean, I'm a big fan of The Rock. Anything
Hell yeah.
anything that he's in, he
Yeah.
really, not for nothing, he brings it. And
Hmm.
he really goes all in on his characters, and puts on a really good show and gives you a good effort anytime. So I'm always excited to see The Rock in something.
That's
Mm.
great, man. And then Al, some of the things that you always worry about is if they overpower someone or the power meter for these different characters like Superman, Captain Marvel, or what's his name? What do we call him? We don't call him Captain Marvel. Shazam.
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 Like the power levels are kind of crazy because when you see this trailer, he's doing a whole bunch of shit, man. That looks like
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah,
So I mean,
lightning and all that. Yeah.
Oh damn!
yeah,
I keep
the
forgetting that his
lightning looked
name has
cool when he was
changed.
blasting the wall, the mountain.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and to your point, like I think what B was alluding to, like he is the nemesis of Shazam, and not to make fun of what's his name, Levy's version of
Exactly.
Shazam,
Yeah.
but are you showing them to be on par? Are you going to have to make another Shazam movie to show his development so that we realistically understand that these
Mhm.
guys are on equal footing? Because
And you
other
can't
than
even say
that,
that
I mean, you
because
got
the
to,
ending of the Shazam
yeah,
movie was the Shazam family.
family, yeah. So I don't know. That's what I'm saying, and that's the problem I have with DC. Like they have so much potential, but they're all over the place. That's why hopefully this guy
Mhm.
Zaslav can reel them all back together and give
Yeah.
them some form of central direction. But in terms of the trailer, it definitely got me interested because like I never knew what Black Adam's issue was. Why did he rebel? And the fact, like you said, he was a slave. He died. His son sacrifices himself so he can come back. And the line goes, "I will never bow to no one again." Like now you know why he's that anti-hero.
Mhm.
Because he's in essence, I'm doing what I want. I'm not doing what
Yeah.
anybody else tells me. So now you understand where that chip
Because
comes from.
heroes don't kill, Al.
I do.
I do.
Yeah, and I like the fact that as corny as Hawkman could be because of the getup,
Mhm.
I'm glad they got an actor of what's his name's caliber because
Aldous
looking at him,
Hodge.
hell, kid, yeah,
Disrespectful triceps.
y-
Disrespectful.
even though he's got that mask on, you don't want to say it looks funny.
No, no,
he
not at all.
he makes it look like a serious mask, even though anybody else you would be like, "Yo, kid, take that off."
Yeah. You look ridiculous, Brandon. Take that gold nose off. Oh my goodness, man.
Yeah, but like compared to what I thought this movie was going to be like, given how long it's taken them to get it even off to get filmed. What has it
Yeah,
been like
yeah.
12 years since they first said that there was going to be a Black Adam movie?
Yeah,
Like
when that first
at
Superman
least it
came
look,
out, man.
yeah, kid. At least it looks like there's going to be somewhat worth a wait for this movie, if this
Yeah.
is the direction looks like it's going in.
Absolutely, man. So, and listen, again, it was a fantastic trailer. If you haven't gotten a chance to see it out there in YouTube world or in podcast land, make sure you go to YouTube, look up that Black Adam trailer. It's right there for you guys to check out from DC. It's actually really, really cool, man. I enjoyed watching it. I watched it like a couple of times because I thought it was pretty good. So, looking forward to
Yeah.
seeing the Black Adam come out sometime in the summer or November, I believe it is. So, either way, looking forward to the Black Adam, man, with The Rock there. So now we're going to go right into the Jurassic World review, and we're going to do a little podcast magic right here where Sanj so far has been the only one that's seen it. Sanj, give me a little thumbs up, thumbs down, or do the little, what is it, the gladiator where he does this and then what was your, or just off the top, give me a little thumbs up, thumbs down, or like just middle. Uh-oh, is it shaking? It's just staying, oh, it's going
That's
up.
all you get. That's all it
Oh,
gets.
that's all we get. So again, little podcast
That's all
magic
it gets.
for you guys.
I,
It's going to seem
It's
like
looking
a
like a
second
hot
or
dog
two, where
over
we're going to
there.
come right back and give you that review. In real life, it's probably going to be like a day or two. So, so we'll be right back, guys, with the review for Jurassic World Dominion with either the four of us, the three of us, or just two of us, maybe just Sanj. So we'll be right back, guys. We'll check you on the other side, and we'll see you soon. All right, podcasters. So, like I said, that podcast magic where you feel like only a few seconds actually went by, but in real life it was like 3 days. So we're actually gonna give you a Sanjay Jurassic World Dominion review because luckily Sanjay was the only one of the four of us to see Jurassic World Dominion. I guess maybe the reviews kind of scared us or didn't make us really want to go out there and go get it. But we're gonna see if Sanjay says it's worth to go see it because we're still going to try to watch it. I know Al's watching it at the end of this month with his daughter. I'm probably going to watch it with the wife sometime this week. And then Brandon said he's going to watch it with his fiance this week. But Sanj, the floor is yours, my brother. I will disappear to not hear any spoilers because I understand your review is going to be with a little bit of spoilers there.
Just a little bit. I'm not gonna go too in depth, but there will be some spoilers, for those who have not seen it. So I wouldn't want to spoil it for anyone. So I mean, if you haven't seen it yet and you are planning on it and don't want to see it, just this is the time to stop listening, put us on pause, and come back to us again
All right.
when you have seen it.
And just for my own curiosity, as a non-spoiler review for Hav, your own like 1-to-1 review here, would you recommend this movie that I see this in the theaters or should I wait to go see this?
I would say go see it in the theaters if you're going to see it. It's better to see it in the theaters just because of the scale of the special effects.
All right. Well, enough, man.
But it's
I've
not
heard.
one of those you got to run out and see, you know?
Gotcha. All right. I can kind of get a gist where there's certain things you need to see on the big screen, but you wouldn't
Yeah.
rush to go see this
Yeah.
movie. You're kind of saying that. So, all right, son. So
No,
listen, brother, I don't want to
I
be
would not.
I don't want to be spoiled, brother. So I'm gonna go ahead and disappear. I'm gonna shut the mic off and the camera off for me. Shoot me a text, brother, when you're ready to go, and we'll go ahead and close this out for you, man. Enjoy the Sanjay review for Jurassic World Dominion.
All right. So, thanks for coming out or thanks for listening tonight, everybody. So my thoughts on it. We, I went with my wife and kids because my daughter really wanted to see it. So, you know, what the one thing that struck me about it was we did watch the original Jurassic Park movie. We didn't watch all of the movies leading up to the new movie, but we did watch the original Jurassic Park movie, and it was really cool. 30 years later, about that movie's special effects really stood the test of time, but the one of the things that really stood out in this Jurassic Park movie was the level of special effects, and from the previous movies, the story kind of picked up right where the last one left off, where Chris Pratt's character is and his girlfriend slash wife. It's not really clear in married or not, where they decided to take the clone the girl the clone of the girl and basically raise her as their own child. And it starts with that, where they're in the middle of nowhere, um and they're trying to keep her hidden, and it shows in this movie where dinosaurs are basically living alongside everyone else and everything else. They've worked their it shows that globally they've worked their way into most ecosystems, and are in some cases have integrated well, and in some cases are having a negative impact. And it shows you like news clips where people are debating about whether what should be done about the dinosaurs. Should we learn how to live with them and continue to live with them, or should something be done about them? It kind of mimics right now where we are, you know with climate change and whatever. Here we are having this event, or these situation that we're debating something, but it's really in our face, and we're kind of treating it like it's not um it's not so it's not like in our face. So then the backdrop falls to where now they keep telling, the girl that she can't go past, a certain place because they don't want her to get discovered. And then she, of course, she's a teenager at this point. She's about 13, 14 years old. So she's testing boundaries, and she wants to go live in the world as what, she's growing up, and she's starting to ask questions, and they're finding it harder to keep her home and to keep her safe. And of course, like any teenager, because she knows that they're not biologically her parents, so she starts saying to them stuff, well, you're not my mom, you're not my dad. And of course you can see how that affects Chris Pratt and his girlfriend, their characters. Of course it hurts because they've raised her. She's their daughter. So it is a story about family. And Blue, the raptor from the previous movies, that Chris Pratt raised, and has now had her own baby by herself in the wild. And she's still around right where Chris Pratt and his little family are. So long story short, searching, Biosyn is now the corporation that is the lead genetic corporation out there, the ones that are developing the dinosaurs and developing, genetic technologies. So they have been looking for her, and they have been looking for Blue. So they find both of them by tracking Chris Pratt. And of course they find them, and they kidnap her. They kidnap the dinosaur, Blue's child, baby raptor. And then the movie takes off from there. So they're trying to get her back. And then we flip to Dr. Sam Neill's character and Laura Dern's character, where they meet up, and she's trying to fight an ecological disaster as well, where these giant locusts are just killing, fields and fields of grain, and so she's trying to fight that. So she enlists, Sam Neill's character, the original archaeologist or paleontologist that was in the movie, and he and in the Jurassic Park movie, and they link back up. So it's also a little bit of a romantic tale between the two of them, because remember, he didn't want kids. That's why they didn't work out. And she has two grown kids, and she's divorced. And of course you can see the remnants of their emotions for each other in their interaction. So we know that what that's going to lead to by the movie's end, or what we think it's going to lead to by movie's end, where maybe they'll hook up again. So it's a story about family. It's a story about romance, and kind of like the one that got away. So then they're trying to find out what's going on and infiltrate Biosyn. And of course, she gets a invitation from none other than Jeff Goldblum, his character. And he invites them because he's infiltrated Biosyn as he's like an in-house consultant for them. So he's posing like he's advocating for them, whatever. He invites them in. And so everything is basically converging upon the Biosyn site, and they're all going to converge at the Biosyn site. And of course, everything's going to go wrong before it goes right. And that's basically, and I mean, so they followed the general formula of a Jurassic Park movie. They're touting how, oh, this is, we're doing it the right way, and it's betterment of mankind and everything, and to help cure diseases and things like that. And of course, everything goes sideways. And lots of special effects around how dangerous the dinosaurs are, and we see chases, and the dinosaurs trying to eat all the people, all of our favorite characters, and it ensues with how they escape or stay alive. So in that sense, it wasn't very original in how they approached the movie, which may be turning some people off to it. I didn't mind, because I didn't expect something great, and the last we reviewed was Top Gun Maverick, and that just blew us away. We didn't expect that to be as good as it was, and that really like blew us away with how great it was and how great that story was. And this story was kind of, kind of average, and it kind of what you expected from a Jurassic Park movie, and kind of what you expected. They do tie everything up nicely by the end. Um, so in that sense, again, not much originality, not much to it. There is a little bit of social commentary along the way. I thought it was a good time. My daughter enjoyed it, and even though my son, he's a little older now, he's at that age in the teenage years where nothing's cool, everything's not cool, everything's lame, he doesn't want to go out and, with us and spend time with us. So even but then you get him out, and he's having a good time in the movie and having a good time hanging out with us. So for me, that made it worthwhile. For me, it was a nice family event to go to. There is a little use of language. So if you have younger kids and you're thinking about taking them, I mean, there is a little bit of foul language. I don't think it's that bad, but again, that might be a little that might be off-putting for some folks. That just doesn't bother me as much. So all in all, I'm not gonna go too much more into the story. I think I've pretty much given you, the overall the gist of the story, a nice little summary of it. But I liked it. Overall I liked it. I mean, you have to suspend. And of course, the T-Rex, and then they have the Giganotosaurus, which is bigger than the T-Rex, right? So they just keep going bigger and bigger. And, of course, by the end of it, Giganotosaurus and T-Rex are going to have to fight each other, of course, to see who comes out on top. And that, I won't tell you who comes out on top. But I liked it. It's not one of those movies I'll say, hey, go out and you got to see it. No matter what, like get to the theater, like right now, go see it. I wouldn't say that about it. But if you want to see it, if you think you want to see it, I think it's best viewed in the theater because of the special effects, because of the magnitude, because of the size of the dinosaurs, and the scope and magnitude that they're trying to show you. It's best viewed in the theater. So that would be my recommendation for it. So if you were excited about the Jurassic Park movies, and you want to complete the story, then I say go see it in the theater. You won't be mad about going out and having a good time, and go with some people that you love, and you'll have a good time. And that's my take on it. So, thanks for listening. Thanks for taking the time. As always, it's a pleasure to be with you, and stay safe. And this is Sanj signing off.
All right, everybody. So listen, that was Sanj and his Jurassic World Dominion review there. I hope you guys who did watch the movie enjoy it. And if not, don't worry about it. If you didn't get to watch the movie yet, I'm sure Sanjay gave you a couple of reasons to go watch the movie. So I'm looking forward to watching this movie and listening to what Sanj thought and see if it matches up with how I see this movie to go. I'm excited to see the movie, even though the reviews are not that great. But again, it's Jurassic World, man. It's dinosaurs in the theater. We got to love it, man. So Sanj, again, thank you so much, brother. You hooked us up this week with the review.
Anytime, brother.
Yeah, man. So listen, that's going to be the podcast for this week. A little shorter than normal, but again, we apologize, man, that we didn't get a chance to. A lot of things going on with all the families going on. So we got a couple of things going on. But we're going to try to go see Lightyear this Thursday. Lightyear is Buzz Lightyear, of course, from the Toy Story franchises. They're coming up with the movie that inspired the toys that created Buzz Lightyear. So it should be an interesting movie. I think some of us are going to watch it with the kids. Some of us are going to watch it just together. So we'll definitely have a review for you guys for next week. And for the dads that watch us, man, I know it's going to be Sunday coming up soon. So happy Father's Day to the dads out there that watch the Real Fan Review. And again, we just want to thank the fans for commenting on the YouTube there and writing emails and things like that. So really appreciate it. You guys are boosting up the numbers, man. So again, we're going to wrap it up right here. So saying good night out of Long Island, New York. We are the Real Fan Review. We got your boy Sanj.
Be safe out there, everybody.
And we got myself, How, saying thank you guys for watching. Please hit the subscribe button, hit the plus symbol for your podcast play app. And we'll be back next week with a Buzz Lightyear review for you. Till next time.